on in her super but he's also in Stature. Instead, that Scott himself. Good things come in small packages. Despite Ant-Man's rise in popularity thanks to the MCU, people still underestimate the little guy for his seemingly silly shrinking ability. But Ant-Man has the potential to be quite powerful, and not just because of the up Thanos' butt. Whether we're talking about the many other characters taking Henry Pym's place as the resident side-shifting superhero or one of their many alternate universe equivalents, Ant-Man is always a force to be reckoned with. So let's take some of the craziest, most powerful Ant-Man variants we know of out of the anthill. Good things come in small packages. Despite Ant-Man's rise in popularity thanks to the MCU, people still underestimate the little guy for his seemingly silly shrinking ability. But Ant-Man has the potential to be quite powerful, and not just because of the up Thanos' butt meme. Whether we're talking about the many other characters taking Henry Pym's place as the resident side-shifting superhero or one of their many alternate universe equivalents, Ant-Man is always a force to be reckoned with. So let's dig some of the craziest, most powerful Ant-Man variants we know of out of the anthill.
Did you know these facts about Black Adam? He possesses a yellow lantern ring and has used it. When faced with something called the Palling, Sinestro reached out and made Black Adam an honorary member of his corps, granting him his own ring and the powers of a yellow lantern. Despite being seen as a villain most of the time, Black Adam has been a member of the Justice Society of America, as well as the Suicide Squad to a certain degree, which might seem like a much more fitting team for him. And finally, his anger started World War III. After being betrayed by a close friend who killed his wife, Spider-Man can do whatever a spider can. When it comes to his live-action portrayals, who did the best job of doing what a spider can? Spider-Man is one of the most recognizable and well-liked superheroes of all time. A non-vulnerable last of his species, super being, or a genius billionaire with a need for justice and a flair for branding is cool and all, but there's just something about a superhero that still struggles to pay rent that is just kind of relatable. We may wish we were Bruce Wayne, but most of us know we're Peter Parker. So to that end, let's go ahead.
The reason I like the multiverse is because it not only gives us fun variants of our favorite heroes and villains, but also allows us to see how our universe stacks up in comparison. Today I'm talking about some of the most powerful suits in the whole multiverse. Yes, it does mean a lot of suits from our universe make the cut, but it's interesting to compare those to other suits not from our own world. What is truly the most powerful suit in the multiverse? What makes a powerful suit so awesome? How many times will Iron Man show up on this list?
What if that goes wrong? If it was a mistake to take part in it. You can't
Patience. Patience, I have.
With a Season 4 confirmation for Butcher and the boys, we've got a bit to talk about, especially concerning some of Vought's sadistic superhero.
There's an urgency in studying a type of algae that's turning snow red. The algae sample is known as snow blood, and even though Aristotle first described it in the 3rd century BC, scientists are scrambling to understand it better as snow volumes continue to fall due to rising global temperatures. Reuters reports that many speculate that the growing volumes of algae are due to climate change, higher carbon dioxide concentrations in the atmosphere favoring blooms. The algae, when in the snow,
Black Panther has been a protector of Wakanda for generations, man to the past, warrior to warrior.
Since the untimely passing of beloved actor Chadwick Boseman and confirmation of Kevin Feige's unwillingness to recast T'Challa in the upcoming Black Panther sequel, Wakanda Forever, there has been one lingering question every Marvel Cinematic Universe fan has desired an answer to. Who should be the next Black Panther? In both comic books and on screen,
What if I told you that way back when there was a way for Rhodey to continue to have the unaided use of his legs? Moments before Doctor Strange's life-changing car accident, his assistant was giving him possible options for new medical cases to take.
What you got for me?
One of those projects was a 35-year-old Air Force colonel with a spinal injury from wearing experimental armor. This is likely a direct reference to the injuries sustained by Rhodey from his fall in Captain America Civil War. Dr. Strange brushed the case off as too simple.
Try me something worth my time.
Hello, Peter. With one line, Doc Ock is back in our lives, so now it's time to revisit one of Spidey's greatest foes with some fun facts. Like, did you know he once tried to marry Aunt May? Would Peter have called him Uncle Otto? I don't know. Did you know he once took over Spider-Man's body and became the superior Spider-Man for a good amount of time? Did you know besides his mechanical arms, he has scary drones he calls the Octobots? Did you know in Spider-Man 2, he wore sunglasses because of light sensitivity, and then the comics followed suit? Those are just...
New forms and transformations are the name of the game when it comes to Dragon Ball. After all, why work hard to outsmart your opponent when you can just yell really loud and get shiny new hair? Well, it does take a little work, but you get the point. When you got a series like Dragon Ball which has more forms in it than the Kama Sutra, spicy, there's bound to be some that are downright overpowered, and some that leave a lot to be desired. The most iconic of the Dragon Ball transformations has got to be the original Super Saiyan 4. Ever since then, we've...
I know it, and I've seen it.
Kang the Conqueror is one of the coolest villains in all of Marvel Comics. Between his arsenal of advanced weaponry and his love of time traveling, it's safe to say that the man born Nathaniel Richards will be giving all of our favorite heroes the fight of their lives when he returns to the MCU. Kang has been heavily hinted to become Marvel Studios' next big, overarching threat, so let's hop into the quantum realm and peek into the future of the MCU to figure out just where our blue-faced bad guy could show up next.
Could Phase 5 see the return of Tony Stark to the MCU? I mean, the opportunity is right there. Tony should return as an AI for somebody's suit. The most likely candidate for this is Riri Williams, who in the comics has her Ironheart suit with a Tony Stark AI in it. Imagine Tony's personality in AI form guiding a new protege in the ways of being a hero. Or if you wanted to go a different route, you could make him an AI for War Machine suits in the upcoming Armor Wars movie. It would be great to see Rhodey and Tony interacting.
Other than the fact that they both qualify as god weapons, Mjolnir and Gor's Necrosword potentially share a surprising connection. You know how Mjolnir can only be wielded by someone who is worthy? Well, it is being argued recently by fans that the Necrosword more than likely has a similar requirement, except instead of requiring a heart full of love, enough to do great acts of self-sacrifice, it instead requires a heart full of hate over the loss of love. So if this is true, which it certainly seems to be the case, would that mean that someone who means no...
Buzz and Woody, Han and Chewie, Moon Knight and Khonshu. One of those relationships is a little more toxic than the others. Mark Spector is the famous Moon Knight, gifted with incredible power by the Egyptian god of the moon, Khonshu. Cursed in a way to serve as Khonshu's fist and enact his vengeance. As Moon Knight, Mark is gifted impeccable fighting abilities, instant healing, and access to ancient Egyptian weapons. However, a recent issue of Moon Knight saw him accessing a new power with possibly devastating consequences. After separating with Khonshu... Imagine your college professor introduces you to his sister by saying, "Have you met my sister? She was actually a formless copy of my DNA who was able to create a physical body for herself, and now we fight from time to time for the fate of the world. By the way, make sure your paper's on my desk by Monday morning." Well, if that's the case, then your professor must be the leader of the X-Men himself, Professor Charles Xavier. Something you may not know about our favorite telepathic mutant is his twin sister, Cassandra Nova Xavier. Cassandra Nova is a vastly more powerful spiritual copy of Professor X. She was able to unlock every possible power Charles's mutation could have, but did not give him. This goes far beyond her powerful telepathy, and extends to powers like phasing, DNA manipulation, telekinesis, and increased healing. She has been a thorn in Charles' side far beyond what you would call a brother-sister rivalry. Makes sense when your twin sister hijacks planes, visits the Shi'ar Empire, and actively tries to sabotage the school he's worked so hard to build. Probably sticks gum under the desks, too.
As much as She-Hulk tried, she couldn't get